All right, so you are warmly welcome to another session of the Voice of Reformation, and this is brought to you by the New African Concept. This happens to be a wonderful movement dedicated to championing the cause of national transformation, holistic national transformation. The times we are in calls for these approaches. We know that there are various voices around, and we are adding to the narrative for national development and national transformation. Let a brother know, let a sister know, let a father know, and let a mother know that we are not in normal times, and these times calls for a paradigm shift. We've established over and over and over again that nations are successful not merely because of their geographical location or natural resources. Rather, nations are successful based on the quality of their value systems. It has also been established that the value system, the prevailing value systems in Ghana and by extension in Africa, is not that which has been able to bring us the kind of transformation that we desire. And if we are really bent on having a change or transformation, then we must focus on reconstructing the value systems of Ghana. And that is why we are passionate about the school of values. The school of values. The school of values is where we take one value after the other, look at what is prevailing in the country, look at its consequence and how it is affecting us as a people, and then look at its side, what can be done, and then the glorious or the benefits we can have out of it, and some of the practical ways we can begin to express or imbibe it. And we've been following your comments and all. I can see that gradually we are getting a paradigm shift and a reorientation on this subject matter of values, and then that is great. Today also presents another opportunity for us to share yet another value. Today, the value we want to talk about is the value of humility and servant leadership. The value of humility and servant leadership. When we look at our leaders in Ghana, whether religious leaders, whether at the corporate level, that is our employers, and then even traditional leaders, and most especially, by extension, our national leaders, that is our ministers, the president, or shall I say the political terrain. Normally, you will see one common trait amongst all, that is given to a bit of hero worshipping and elitism. You will find that the masses, that is the citizenry, we are almost trying to deify them. It is funny and sad at the same time that, when a thief is caught in Makola, or a thief is caught in Choco, or a thief is caught in Kegetia, what was he doing? Trying to steal. How much? 10 cedis, 20 cedis, 30 cedis. For what? For survival. Because maybe he's not working or he's hungry. And when a man is hungry, you naturally lose your moral compass. Such a person, in most cases, will go or will join our ancestors within the shortest possible time. Why? Because we will catch the person, beat the person, and mercilessly kill the person. What was his issue? His issue was trying to steal, or perhaps he stole even, plantain. Are we endorsing it? Not at all. But it's funny and sad, as I said, at the same time, that we don't carry that same spirit, energy towards the very leaders we know are also hurting the system. Even when we know that these are the leaders that are chopping our monies, when they still come within our midst, we'll call them boss, we'll call them papa, we will call them honorable, we'll call them excellence, we'll call them all kind of names. even at the point of worshiping them. Why? That is the kind of leadership that is prevailing here. That is hero worshiping, where the people, our pastors, the members are hero worshiping them. Not all of them though, but I'm talking of, what is prevailing or what is seen on a predominant, tone. This kind of leadership leads to elitism. When elitism comes in, it leads to manipulation. As long as you begin to think, as long as when you treat people as though they are gods, in the course of time they begin to think that indeed they are really gods. And then in the course of time they begin to behave that they are gods. When you treat them as gods, they begin to think they are gods and they begin to live as one. And that is what we see predominantly when it comes to the subject of leadership here in Ghana and then in Africa. So you could see that servant leadership as a virtue or as a value is missing, or it is in very scanty quantity, here in Ghana. In the same vein, humility, and this is a product of colonialism and slavery, together with our indigenous approach to doing things. We begin to feel that what makes a leader is your ability to, stimulate fear amongst people. We begin to think that what makes a leader is your ability to be commanding people left, right, center, so that they begin to feel jittery in your presence. And that is what we find all around. But let us take the flip side. The kind of value in the light of leadership that is going to bring transformation is humility and servant leadership. When we talk of servant leadership, then we are talking about a kind of leadership whose focus is to see that the leaders sacrifice themselves so that the masses or their subjects will become the very best of themselves. This is all about servant leadership. Leadership is not a tool to control people. Leadership is not an avenue to manipulate people. Leadership is a tool to sacrifice so that your subjects, so that your people can ride on your shoulders to be seen, can ride on your shoulders to become the best of themselves. Servant leadership. The best example has been Jesus Christ. And all of us must follow in suit. You know, the British had, when they started, they had prime minister. The word minister is the word servant. So in their legislative setting, what they meant by prime minister is the chief of servant. So they left literally the same structure for us. Now we've called it president, but they left the same structure for us. But we are not practicing, we have the form, but we don't have the content. So we have just maintained the form, but not the content. So in reality, in the political terrain, and by extension, all kinds of leadership, when we say you are a minister is a servant. And then if you say that you are the president or the prime minister, it means that you are the chief of the servants. Is that what we see here? No. Servant leadership would mean that if I am a leader, let's say I am an MP or any political leadership or any kind of leadership, this will be the voice of a servant leader. I am not resting until my people have rested. I am not eating until the people within my jurisdiction have eaten. I am not sleeping until I am assured that the people within my coverage have slept. Just take a moment and then think for yourself. if all kinds of leaders, whether it is parental leadership, it is educational leadership, it is religious leadership, it is political leadership, it is traditional leadership, imagine our leaders thinking this way, that I am not going to sleep until I am very much aware that each and every one of my subjects have slept well or are sleeping well. I am not eating, not in a literal sense, but I am not eating until I am assured that my people have ate or they are eating well. This is the burden of leadership. So leadership is not about celebration. Leadership is rather about sacrifice and humility. Is it not beautiful that our leaders can share with us on the same platform? Is it not beautiful that our leaders, when you go to the Western world, you will find some of the leaders, they'll be in the same car, or shall I say bus, with the average citizen. That is humility. That is humility. That is an expression of humility, which is very key. But you come here and then it is a different thing. Our leaders are inaccessible, and many people think that the more you are isolated and insulated from the people, that is the best description of leadership. No, it is the other way around. Humility and servant leadership will take this country and its various institutions to the next level. This has been another edition of the School of Values, and we are heating up on this School of Values because that is how the change is going to start. Today we spoke about the place of humility and servant leadership. Maybe you are a father, you are a parent, you are a teacher, you are a headmaster, you are a lecturer, you are a medical doctor, you are a worker at any place, or you may be holding political leadership or a traditional leader. This is the charge from the New African concept. Let us redefine what leadership is about. It is principally about being humble enough, and much more being a person of, embracing servant leadership. Let us come down and sacrifice for the common good of the people. We, as usual, we believe in the success of Ghana. We believe that it is possible. Personally, I am very poised and very charged for this movement. And I believe also that Ghana can make it and shall make it and will make it. And we also charge you that you must believe that we are all going to make it.